It's been a long time since I made a video like this by myself, I feel. And I will always say I feel. A little over a year ago, I started a series called Let's Talk About. It was like a daily series I was doing where every day I would sit down at the end of my day and kind of just debrief what happened in the day. I got the initial idea from my old roommate and one of my friends, Nick Amby. He did the series for months. I believe the last video I saw from him was he was up at 130 videos in the series. He said he had a number in mind for when he would stop. There were days where the videos lasted seconds, a couple of minutes, to days where the videos would be upward of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on what he had to say, what he was doing. And they progressed from just a sit-down talk like this to kind of a talking and moving the camera around and showing what he was doing and what he was talking about specifically. A lot to do with his career. I started the series and I just recently went back and watched some of the videos, and I wish I never stopped. And I knew that at the time that I would have this regret if I ever did stop. But the first episode of whatever this was, I said I have difficulty with keeping up with series and stuff like that in my whole life. And that's a thing that still remains to be true. I can't even commit myself to a video a week. So making a video a day and then also doing whatever creative endeavors that I was interested in, whether that was photography or streaming or videos or whatever the case may be. I feel like there's just one, I have to focus on one thing at a time before I feel like I can do it all. But I've always wanted to have it all and do it all at once. My best friend Aiden, who's also a roommate of Nick's, surprisingly enough and funnily enough, always says that one thing that he's learned in life is that you can have it all, just not all at once. And as much as that's a thing that has just kind of stuck in my brain for a very long time. And as much as I always argue that life is about balance, and yes, you can't have it all at once, but I don't know, almost like you can. I always get reminded when I burn myself out that I can't do it all. It's not a thing that I can stack and stack and stack and stack and stack. I feel like a lot of my influences are popping up and saying exactly what I need to hear. I feel like I'm hearing exactly what is needed for me right now. I've been watching Love Live Serve, Strawberry Park, and Rhino specifically for years now. From the dating show stuff that he would do, to the vlogs that they would do in COVID, to most recently he's been in some interviews and has been making videos very similar to this within the last month, that I feel like I got to know at least the persona that he puts online very well, to where I understand that there's a goofy and funny and satirical side to him a lot of the times, but I also get to see him in a serious light and to see the things that he thinks about, and a lot of the things that he's been speaking of have been inspiring to me as an artist and as a creative, but have also been eye-opening for me to kind of see the type of person he is, and the type of company that he keeps around him. If you don't know Rhino, definitely go check him out. He makes music, he does reaction videos with his roommates and friends. In the same way that my influence going into film school and going into film in general, and the reason how I got here and why I got here, was Justin Escalona and 1340 and the Daily Doc series and everything that he was doing creatively. That's the reason that I got to where I am now. There's no way that I would have followed some type of gut feeling to learn more about film if I didn't watch his videos. And now it feels like I've been kind of stagnant in my life. I also haven't been creatively exploring myself as much as I feel like I wanted to. And it feels like this new wave of these new Rhino videos and my interest in those, and he introduced me to a channel by a creator. His name's TK Coleman. As far as I know, I don't know much about him. This is very new to me. But he did an interview with Rhino that has become my new favorite interview that I've ever seen. And like I always liked watching like Tyler the Creator interviews, for the reason that I like how his brain processes things, and his interviews, especially because he doesn't do them very often. He only does them when he has something to say. But his interviews have made me think about things differently in the past, and I think these TK Coleman videos have, and the way that he structures the interviews, first of all, they look stunning. They look so beautiful, and he deserves all the publicity in the world for what he's doing. But he kind of structures them in like a conversational jazz, he calls it, where he asks a question or asks a series of questions and finds a way to connect all of the pieces, all of the answers to these different questions together to kind of tell you and explore more about yourself. I think that's the coolest thing ever. And I think he is extremely wise, and he's an extremely good listener from what I've gathered from his interviews. He's very articulate. He takes in what other people say and processes it and thinks, and then asks the perfect questions to further the conversation and to dive deeper. He really seems like he's an active listener. His videos are incredible. Definitely check him out. And so he did an interview with Rhino, all that to say. So he did an interview with Rhino, and it was really awesome being able to see Rhino in a different light and to discover TK Coleman. And I've been telling everybody about him because it's just, it seems like something that can really make people think and mature and progress, to be able to see that somebody can act in this way, in the way that he does, in his day-to-day life, and how natural it was to you could tell that he was just, that's how he carries himself. Talking about TK Coleman, right? And also from Rhino's perspective, seeing the type of people that he surrounds himself with, if that makes sense. Rhino's also been, like I said, he was making videos like this, sit down and talk to the camera. He just did it in his room for a while. And he mentioned that TK Coleman's one of his mentors, right? And so it really, and Rhino's like 28, I believe. I'm 25, right? And I feel like I have a respect for all the people that are around me, but especially, someone just almost got hit by a bike over there. Especially because of these videos, it kind of opened my eyes up to thinking that any person that I meet could could change my life. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere that I go, I could meet somebody that changes the trajectory of my life, and not only how I think about things, but how I live. It could be an opportunity, a money-making opportunity. It could be it could be anything, right? So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately, especially because of the position I am in my life. Like I was saying, I feel kind of stagnant creatively, and I've been saying yes to a lot more things I'm also not smoking weed right now for 3 weeks now, I believe. And I feel like it's definitely helped me think and filter. And also, I don't really crave it as much right now. But it goes in waves, you know what I'm saying? There are like times where I definitely get sunk in it, right? But I'm just having fun at the same time. And in the first Let's Talk About video I made a year ago, or over a year ago at this point, I kind of said that as much as I know it's bad, I'm going to do it anyways, kind of thing. That's what it sounded like and what it seemed like. My relationship with it is complicated because it definitely is an addictive substance, something that I can get addicted to, even if it isn't on paper necessarily. The feeling and just the want to do it is something that triggers an addictive thing in my brain, and I constantly feel not necessarily the need to, but just the, oh, why not? I'm not doing anything else, might as well, kind of thing. And I have a cottage trip planned soon. I probably will smoke when I'm up there, but I don't know. It's been nice to just talk through things again. This is definitely a therapeutic practice, making these videos. It's fun to do stuff like this for me, and I feel calm talking through my feelings and emotions, and it might be a thing that I do more often. Who knows? I don't know how often I'll do this, but I think it is good to talk through whatever I want to talk through. But one more thing before I go, I feel like it's very important to control your emotions with yourself, what you decide to express and what you decide to hold in, kind of thing. I feel like I've been pretty good at it in my life thus far. I don't lash out at people very often, if at all. I understand that everyone's going through something different, and because of that, I feel like it's difficult to imagine me getting into a fight and disagreement with somebody to the point where it would escalate, because I de-escalate situations well, and I am composed, and people have told me that it comes off as calm, and calm people are the same type of people that others would like to be around, you know? If all my friends were calm, which most of them are, it's a better feeling than having that person that's always crashing out and sporadic, and you never know what their next move is going to be. And a lot of those times, those friendships, at least for me, are fleeting. They don't last very long, you know, or don't last forever for sure. I used to end these videos with like a word of wisdom or a moral or something. What I will leave you with today is try to make sure that you are in control of your emotions, and your reactions to situations and scenarios are all that you are perceived as, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'll do for now, and I will see you whenever I decide to do this again.